But when you look at people, it's not adding up. तो ये extra, weight आया किधर से? दिखता तो है नहीं. And that's what we believe, that we cannot see most of our universe. That is, so it's mostly dark matter and dark energy. Most likely, we don't know, because in other words, if I step on a, वजन कराना machine है ना, if I step on it, and you'll be like, oh, इसको देख के तो लगता है होगा, 50-70 किलो का. And if I look at the scale, it will look like 300 kilo. And then you will be like, this is 300, the guy looks different, where is the missing thing? And that's what is happening with the universe. We have no idea why it is the case. So, in short, पहले तो यूनिवर्स दिखता नहीं है, ऑब्जर्वेबल यूनिवर्स, एंड जो दिखता है उसमें से खाली 4% समझ में आता है. This is the level of what we don't know, and that's why it's very important to understand. So, well, I mean, this is the, this is sort of the situation of the universe, and so this dark matter, we believe there might be some sort of matter which we cannot see, and that is imparting some sort of, weight or mass to the universe, and therefore the universe behaves differently than what we see. So dark energy is supposed to be, a force again, which is moving the universe apart. And it's a mysterious repulsive force that causes the universe to expand at increasing rate. In other words, about 9 billion years ago, like scientists were looking at it, okay, the Big Bang has happened, everything is moving apart, and you could make some predictions. कि पहले ऐसे जा रहा था, therefore अभी ऐसे जाना चाहिए, and we extrapolate. That's what scientists do, by the way. We make it sound complicated, but that's all what it is. The problem was that when the data was studied for about 9 billion years, वो जैसे जाना चाहिए था वैसे जाता ही नहीं है. And we are not able to figure out कि what changed at about 9 billion years. And that's why I say after we subtract the gravity from the known matter in the universe, we can see the dark energy pushing to get out. In other words, in this room right now, if we plan stuff with the room, we are a mass, gravity interaction, kaisa hona chahiye. And the results come out as if there is a lot of things, which are different. Instead of attracting, we are moving apart, which simply shouldn't happen. But that is happening. So, in the other way of looking at it is the way the expansion started, there was a belief कि अभी इतना हो गया, अभी रिटर्न आ जाएगा. रिटर्न तो आया ही नहीं, it is accelerating faster. So, where is the energy to accelerate the entire universe? Where is that energy coming from? We have absolutely no idea. And therefore, when we don't have any idea, we give it good names like dark energy. And when anyone has no idea any which ways, so that we can do research, because no one knows what's happening. So that's the thing. And there is something called the dark flow, that a part of the universe is expanding, in a special way. Now, the reason I'm telling you this is because if this is true, this is a violation of the very basis of physics. Because in physics, our understanding is that there is no special case scenario. Everything is same. Nothing should be, and that's the basis of the Western science. Okay, let me be very specific. Of the Western physics, which we study as of today, that there is no special place in the universe. Everything is by random. But when we look at this picture, that heat picture, this is just a version of that. This part of the universe is not behaving as it should, as if there is something special about it. No one has any idea what. But what I'm trying to say is that the very basis of science, the so-called laws of physics, it is not that they are also very clearly established. Maybe we don't know. So that's that. And the standard cosmology cannot explain such a giant cosmic whole. In other words, when equations were written, when data was studied, the universe is expanding, and suddenly there is a part of the universe there which makes no sense. And we don't know that why it exists, because to explain this we have to fine tune the laws of physics, which is not allowed. So either the laws of physics are wrong or either the data is wrong, and the data doesn't seem to be wrong. So we are missing something. So that's that, and that thing leads us to something called the multiverse. You know that this is our universe. There most likely there are other universes out there. And we might not know anything about them because firstly, अपना वाला ही नहीं दिखता. These guys are supposed to be outside us. वो कहाँ से दिखेंगे? But then how do we have this idea that if we can't even see us, how the heck will we see that? तो ये multiverse फिर आया कहाँ से? It has come sort of from this sort of this sort of data, this sort of anomaly, of this hole in the in that map. Maybe universes are branching out, and this is the sort of like if you get injured, scar right hand, maybe it's something like that. But no one really knows. And but because we are talking about life in space, we speak about the fine-tuned universe. Is that whatever may be the case, how come life evolves? Because for us to exist, everything has to be exactly as it is. The forces and the charges of the quarks and the electrons and so on. Anything different and they will not be there. So the multiverse, the universe is not enough, and this is what it leads to. So this is to suggest that our universe is something like this. We are the intelligent life, and we are trying to figure it out. But there might be a lot of universes out there which are different. So कोई universes में light नहीं, कई जगह atom नहीं, that sort of thing. But we are somewhere, where this could happen. Now, this is a very interesting way because it is true that you want to exist. And then you want to say कि भाई आपने भगवान ने तो बना दिया नहीं. तो पची कई रीते आ गया. This is the way. In short, randomly. Random का proof नहीं है. So you see what I'm trying to say is that this is the cutting edge science which itself has no proof to provide, because science can only be done when I have the data which I can test. इधर data तक नहीं है, test कहाँ से करेंगे? How is this different from God? No difference. But the way we they made to perceive that to speak of God is some sort of a problem in science. No, this itself is a problem because this is beyond the scientific method. So that's the reason when we began the interaction, I said keep it in mind and don't disconnect yourself from the culture, because if you do, कुछ मतलब नहीं रहेगा उसका. The point is that. But anyway, we are defined in universe. We have something called the anthropic principle. In other words, the law of science, as we know them at present, contain many fundamental numbers, like the size of the electric charge of the electron and the ratio of the masses of the proton and the electron. The remarkable fact is that the values of these numbers seem to have been very finely adjusted to make possible the development of life. In other words, and if you look at the statement, have been very finely adjusted. But you don't want to invoke a creator. And this statement comes from Stephen Hawking. It's from his book. So that's the issue we are having. Because you don't want to invoke a creator, but you can see that the universe is fine-tuned. How to explain that? Simple. You can have a lot of multiverses. So you have billions of universes. कोई ना कोई तो अपने जैसा हो ही जाएगा. And you continue. This is not even science. But Stephen Hawking has written it, so it makes sort of sense to see how that perspective is. There was a movie called Interstellar, and there was this tagline was this, that mankind was born on Earth It was never meant to die here. You know. So we are supposed to die somewhere else, in short. So, in that movie, Pyar Ke Naam Pe, they jumped in the black hole. That's the summary of the movie. And this is how the black holes are, that if you have a star, which is like the sun, you know, it has a certain amount of mass. So if the light goes near it, it will bend in a certain way. If the star is like even heavier, it will become a neutron sort of a, sort of star. Okay, like this neutron star. It's massive, so light will bend more around it. If the mass is very massive, and dense, to be more specific, everything will sort of fall on itself. Now, if let's say if our 5 rupee coin is a black hole, any light emitted from here, it won't be able to go anywhere because it is so dense. It will basically just curve back on itself. Like the light doesn't come, how will you see it? Therefore, it becomes a black hole. There's nothing more to it. And anyone can become a black hole, you, no problem. All that we have to do is take you and squeeze you to a small space. And if you're becoming dense enough, you and I become a black hole. In other words, black hole is just a condition. It's not any different from any of the matter. It's a condition of the matter. It's very dense. Therefore, you cannot sort of see it. And there's a normal picture, to sort of look at how it bends space-time. So we believe there's something called as space-time, everywhere. And if you have a mass, that space-time fabric sort of bends. And if it bends too much, you sort of create a black hole. And one way of looking at it is this. I think what we'll do, we'll look at the 4 types of black holes first, and then we will take it ahead. And then when you move around it, you see some event horizon. In other words, if imagine some sort of a boundary here, if the light crosses that boundary, now it is in the sphere of influence of the black hole. एक बार क्रॉस કર્યું लाइट पाછળ नहीं આવશે. So you have possibly lost the information, maybe not, we don't know. But एक बार line cross करी, which is like the Lakshman Rekha of the black hole, which is the event horizon, no chance of coming back. That's why there was the event horizon, because अगर એના સાથે શું થયું, we don't know. And that's the problem, because if this is true, then information is getting lost. And information loss is a problem to explain, because now we are going into the another basic issue of physics, that energy cannot be lost and so on and so forth. Then information no and so on and that sort of thing. But in short, you are not supposed to sort of cross that. And are a curvature to accretion disk, because there is such a strong black hole, in आसपास, you will find some light material happening, stuff is falling out.